to Chats with Chards with your girl, Miss Chardonnay. And honey, as you can see, I have my glass of Chardonnay because I am ready to dive into it, okay? This episode, we are back with episode 2 of Dating 101. And this one is called The Choice. Now we can do this the easy way or the hard way. The choice is yours. Honey, you have a choice, I have a choice, we all have a choice as to who we decide to end up with in this thing called dating, in this thing called life, and whoever you choose to be your partner to spend the rest of your life with or a certain period of time with, we have a choice. And I'm going to help you with the things that you need to know to make the goddamn right one, okay? To make the right choice. We choose a lot of shit, and there are sometimes some of that shit, most of that shit is not good for us. Most of that stuff is not going to benefit us, and most of that stuff is just wants and it's not needs. And where does that get us in the end? Not where we want to be, tell you that much. So in terms of relationships and in terms of dating, we're going to look at a few areas that helps us make the right dating choice and hopefully find the right partner. I'm just going to go ahead and dive right in. Okay. Number 1, qualities. This is the things that you look for in somebody, okay? So, what I'm going to talk about in terms of qualities is like things that you want and then things that you bring to the table. Now, people go around like, I want this, I want that. And it's so easy to say the things that you want from a person, the things that you want to look for in a person, and things that you admire or you want in your potential partner. But is it so easy to say the things that you bring? A lot of people roll off their tongue what they want. I want a guy who's tall, 6'2". You know, if you're shorter than 6 foot, you're cancelled. If you're bigger than a size 8, you're cancelled. If you don't have natural long hair, you're cancelled. If you don't, really, that's what we're talking about. Because height is gonna rule the whole next generation. I mean, it may be what you're attracted to, cool, but I mean, is that unless your dream is to be the mother of the next most famous basketball player, maybe height will be sufficient. Or maybe height is thoroughly important. I'm not saying it's not something you want, but it may be important. Let's start with the things that you want. It's important to know what you want. You cannot face a direction and you cannot shortlist your candidates if you do not know what you are looking for, child. There are a lot of people in this world, a lot of fish in the sea, they say, okay? A lot of people. But honey, if you do not know what you are looking for, you are going to get sidetracked. You're going to get dazed by the shiny things. You're going to get distracted by the things that look good, the things that look big, the things that look juicy. You are going to be seeing mirages wherever you go, honey, because you are not focused and you do not know what you want in order to be focused. Lesson 1. Lesson 2, okay? In terms of knowing what you want, know the things that are important. The things that are going to get you to wherever it is that you see yourself or whatever your future is supposed to hold. Know the things that are important in order for you to get there. So we can want a bunch of things. We can want a good body. We can want a smart person. We can want someone who's ambitious, someone who's rich, someone who does things for themselves, someone who thinks for themselves, someone who's caring, someone who's loving, someone who's compassionate. Do I go on? I mean, we can want a lot of things, but what exactly is important, not only to you, but what is important for you? What is important for the things that are going to benefit your life from today to the future in terms of where you are trying to go, all the dreams that you have for your future? What are the things that that person needs to have to add value to whatever it is that you are doing now in order to strive your path and assist your path to go to where you want to go? I'm just saying, really. And I'm talking real serious right now because a lot of you go out there like, oh yeah, I like this, I like that. Okay, that's all gravy, but what do you want and what do you need? Can you differentiate the two? Can you? Can you, honey? Because if you don't, if you can, then honey, you just lost. You may as well be gone with the wind, child. We don't know where you at. You blown left, right, cold center. You don't sit on any side of the fence. You a fence fool. That's where you are. So, really, knowing what you need, knowing what you want, and knowing what is good for you, important. Seriously important. And you know what? You don't always need to know exactly where you're going to be in the next 5 years. You don't need to know exactly where you want to be, but you have a general scope of what you think you want in your life. And then you align it with the partner that you put there. The point of your partner is for you guys to assist each other in that journey and have pleasantries along the way. Laughs, blessings, kids, fortune, fame, I don't know, whatever it is that floats your boat. But have greatness, have happiness along the way. And listen, trials will come, tribulations will come, but that does not mean it's the end. And also, honey, if there are a lot of trials and tribulations, I mean, ones that are at every corner, twists and turns, and no matter what you do, you ain't getting out of it. I mean, maybe you didn't really assess that situation to start off with. I'm just saying. But now I'm jumping. So let me get back to episode 2. Okay, so qualities, what you want. It's important to know that. So important. Otherwise, you have no drive, you have no direction. You may have drive, but if you have no direction, you are just a crazy person getting behind the wheel. I tell you that much. And all you're going to do is crash. If you do not know what you want, but you have so much vim, the vim is great, but you're going left. All you're going to be looking back saying is woulda, coulda, shoulda. That's it. Like, knowing what you want is important, guys. So important in life in general, but in dating, it's mandatory. What do you bring? Now, it's so easy to say the importance of things or what you want, X, Y, and Z. Okay, but what do you bring? Sister, brother, what do you bring? You want all these things, and that's all well and good, but what you bring, honey, what you bring to the table? Because money on the table, that's all great. It can pay our bills. It can, help us build a future. But where's your support? Where's your compassion? Are you an arrogant fool with money? If you're going to be arrogant and if you're going to be a fool about it, as quick as you got it is as quick as you're going to lose it. Sweetie, what do you bring to the table? Is it just Pum Pum? Is it just VJ? Is it just Nene that you bring to the table? Okay, that's great. That will birth our kids, but it's not going to bring them up. It is not going to help put food on the table. It's not going to help you and your man reach your ambitions, your goal. It's not going to take care of a home. It is not going to make a successful career. It is not going to bring up them 3, 4 big-headed kids. It is not. What do you bring to the table? Except for superficial things. Okay, you tall. That's great. You dark and chocolate. That's great. But what else? I ain't gonna eat your skin. I'm not gonna eat your height either. I mean, I'm just saying, like, looking good is all great, but what's that gonna do for me in 10 years? What's that gonna do for me right now? You look great on my arm. You shapely hourglass figure person, you look great on my arm today, but what's that gonna do for me tomorrow? Listen, I'm just saying, what do you bring to the table? What are your qualities? What can you offer? What can you offer not just to the other person, but what can you offer in a relationship? And this kind of relationship thing does actually stem to friendships as well as dating. In a friendship, what can you offer? If you're always that person who is taking from your friends, you're going to get cut. I'm sorry, you just don't make the joint. Like, people get to this point where they feel like all you do is consistently take from them. Honey, they won't want to be associated with you because they see you as a taker. You don't give, you don't add value. And when they get to the point, and trust me, they will get to the point where they reassess their life, they reassess their situation, and they realize that you, honey, you need to be cut. Chop, chop. That's all I'm saying. What do you bring to the table? Is it intelligence? Is it care? Is it a mediation kind of, characteristic? What is it? That's in friendship. In terms of relationship, do you bring ambition? Do you bring drive? Are you an optimist? What is it that you can bring to a relationship that is going to aid that person to get to where they want to get to, and want that person to also give to you what they have to offer? That's on both sides, honey. That's not just females. That's not just males. That's both sides. Like, what do you offer? Consider that. Okay, now, Once y'all get past all that, let's talk about status quo. So, does this person match you? Now, this can be debated in so many forms of fashion, but guys, I must say, date on your level. Please. Please. If he is out of your level, do not date him. If she is not on your level, do not date her. Because you are creating your own wahala. Let me tell you that. The reason why you're creating your own wahala is because one person, whoever is the most superior in that form of fashion, if there is a wide gap, all you are going to be saying is, this is what I did for her. This is what I did for him. Nah, 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 nah. Nah, 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 nah. And it's already like you feel like that person owes you. When it's supposed to be a relationship, it's supposed to be a partnership, not a dictatorship. This person is not your master. You ain't their slave. No matter how much they are giving you, no matter how much you are giving them. Sis, bro, please use your six, stay on your level. Because if she can flex, you can flex. There's no jealousy. There's no envy. Oh, because she leveled up. There's healthy competition. Don't get me wrong. Because she leveled up, I need to level up. That's great. But if it's out of your bank, out of your budget, if your numbers aren't adding up, sis, if your numbers aren't adding up, bro, you need to rethink the person you are dating. And it's not a superficial way at all. And it's not in a, a negative way at all. But you know what? Y'all will take what you want to take. That's fine. Cool. But it is just about being able to match that person in good faith. When I say match them, if they want to go on holiday today, you're not cussing and blinding. Oh, you're spending all our money on this. You're spending all our money on that. When your children need food. When your children need... No, you guys got to make sure you're good first. And if he can't do it, you can do it. If she can't do it, you can do it. And you can bounce off each other in a healthy way. Bouncing off each other. Not taking from one person. Bouncing off each other. It's a partnership. Child, I need myself a drink to cool down because I'm getting aggy. So, status quo. I'm not saying that if he a doctor, you gotta be a doctor. Or if she a doctor, you gotta be a doctor. Or if he an accountant, you gotta be an accountant. I'm not saying that your professions, career, jobs, whatever, they have to match or be the same. I'm not saying that at all. Similar fields, here or there, debatable. You understand how each other works. It's more of an actual conversation because you get it. Cool, familiarity. Yeah, everybody wants that. However, it's not a must. And sometimes the different things are very interesting because you get to learn a whole lot about this person's whole different career, and that person gets to learn a whole lot about your different career. That's cool. What I'm saying is status quo. So I'm going to have to bring back to simplistics, but I hope you guys don't miss the point. If this person has a bachelor's, it's great for you to have a bachelor's. If you have a master's and that person has a bachelor's, there's nothing wrong in that. But depending on how far you went in your studies and how low that person was in their studies. Now, the reason why I say there's the intellectual difference is important in terms of status quo is because there's an understanding in terms of what you do, the drive you have, the motivation you have, what you did to get yourself there, and therefore how you think. All of that work changes you as a person. It changes how you see life. It changes the things that you do. It changes the processes that you undergo. How I will process this is not the same as another person. And that is based on my experience. And education is part of an experience, intellectual tooling that shapes you in a different form. It gives you more drive. It gives you more structure. It gives you the ability to plan. I'm not saying education is everything, don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is that somebody who has been through a series of different types of education or education to a certain level is going to think differently, is going to process differently to somebody who has not. Now, the reason why that is important is not because of your status as non-educated and educated. It's because of how your mind works. Now, if you want somebody to understand you at your level, you should find somebody who has been through something similar. And again, that's not a guarantee that the way you process something, someone else is going to process it the same way just because they've been through the same educational system as you have, or they've reached the same educational level. No, it doesn't mean that. What it means is that certain statuses build character and shape people in a certain way. Someone can get to an ideology or get to their answer quicker or more effective or more in a more structured manner. haven't gone through certain experiences than other people. That's all I'm saying. I'm really leaving it really blank and really vague there. And I'm letting you guys let your imagination run wild. But don't go crazy with all that. Because I'm just saying, like, y'all be missing the point. Now, status quo is important on a financial level. It's important on an educational level. And it's important on a goal level. What your goal is for yourself. If I just see myself working a 9 to 5 for the rest of my life and you want to shoot and reach the stars, honey, I'm going to hinder you in some form or fashion. Because that's not the way I see things, and that's not the way I think things should be done. And in some form or fashion, it's going to be pulling you down, it's going to be pulling you back. Do you understand? Anyway, status quo, I'm going to leave it like that. That's all I'm saying. Now, morals is next. Your morals is so important. I'm going to add morals and beliefs. And when I say morals and beliefs, it does not mean religion specifically. People can live together. They can be married together. They can have a very well-rounded, healthy family. They can build those together with different religious backgrounds. Now, when I say belief is more important, because what you believe and what that person believes, they need to be similar. So if you believe that you guys can live in the same household, bringing up, begin in different religions, and it's gonna work, great. You guys are on the same page about that. And because you are on the same page about that, you will make it work. Do you understand? So your belief about what you think for your life, what you think for your children, what you think or how you think things should go, the mannerism, X, Y, and Z, they're all part of what I'm talking about, and they're all important to be similar. Now I'm going to go back to morals, because morals is how you think and how your conscience works. If he feels the opposite, like in comparison to you, you're already creating a friction that just, it's so insignificant, but it's little things that create this groove. Does that make sense? So your morals about life, your morals about yourselves, your morals about your kids, your morals about your family, your morals about your beliefs, your morals about your religion, your morals about your whole working system need to match up. Now, guys, that does really, I've touched on goals alongside this in some form or fashion. Your goals basically need to be aligned. They do not need to be the same. They do not need to be the same, but they need to be aligned. Aligned, child, aligned. When I said at the beginning that you guys need to be on the same page, I mean it, like aligned. And I don't think I need to express that anymore. Your goals need to be aligned. Where you guys want to get to as a unit, that needs to be aligned. Otherwise, distraction is going to creep in. Weariness, that's going to creep in. Tiredness, fatigue, that's going to creep in. Temptation, that's going to creep in. Trials, they're going to look harder than they should have been. So much stuff is going to come, and you guys are not going to be able to fight it, because your vision, your focus, never on the same page. So that does really bring me down to compatibility, guys. So all of those things, if you've considered them and they are not even similar, but if they match up, so you're looking for tall, she's looking for short, I mean, as just an example, you know, then it matches up. Do you understand? It's not the same and it's not similar, but it matches up. That's what I mean. You guys have to match up in the things that you want and the things that you can bring in your status quo, in your morals, in your goals, and then you are compatible. And that is where you can bring down your choices. Do you understand? That's all the things that you need to consider to make your choices and look like they are decorated well, for you to even think that you have somewhat of a future with this person. You guys are out here picking trash. I'm sorry. There are some people in this world that are trash. Unfortunately, God forgive me. I'm just saying. And people have made themselves trash because they don't know what they want and they don't know what they can bring. If you don't know those two, sweetie, take yourself left. The garbage is that way. Do you understand? Are you hearing me? Thank you. So, that brings me to the end of this episode, guys. Episode 2. The choice. The choice is yours. Right, guys, that's it from me in this episode. Join me next time in our many, many, many segments for episode 2s, 3s, 4s, and all the other segments. I look forward to seeing you guys soonish. Tune in, like, share, subscribe, as always, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.